You have this advantage. You have this niche that you can really insert yourself in that community as the realtor,
Yep.
right? And it's most likely going to be a community that you know you
You got to be
appreciate.
passionate. You got to be
Yeah,
passionate
yeah,
for it, though.
yeah, exactly.
You can't just go in with the mindset I'm going to make money. It has to be something
No,
that you're passionate. When I moved into this neighborhood, I knew there. I could tell by signs there wasn't a lot of
yeah,
multiple use realtors. So the more I got involved in the community, the more I'm embedded as the go-to real estate guy.
yeah, yeah,
So I think that's a huge thing. Be passionate about what you're doing. Just don't go in there with the mindset you're going to get business out of it, because then your heart's not in the right place. And I think
no,
people can pick up on that because
exactly.
your approach isn't going to be sincere. What you're
Yeah,
doing is very sincere, because at the end of the day, you just want to help out a Title I school. For those that understand, Title I schools are the poorer of all schools. They're the ones
hmm,
that get the free meals, the free breakfast, the free lunch. Some of the stuff that I do out in the community with organizations is specifically tied to Title I schools because they don't get anything.
right.
They're the bottom of the rung. The school district's going through chaos right now because they have way too much overhead and the population is declining, which is
Mhm.
why schools are being closed, because nobody's having the amount of babies they had 20 years ago.
Yeah,
And instead of cutting the fat up at the admin, like Chandler School District has, like, 40, 50 staff in the admin office. You don't need the assistant to the
hmm,
assistant to the assistant of the superintendent. It's stupid. So instead of cutting that waste, they're making the schools cut the waste, which is not fair.
right.
So what you're doing is helping a Title I school get extra income to do the things they need to do to make their school that much more
Yeah,
successful.
yeah. And here's the thing: is like I can't see a community saying no to somebody helping out, right? Or
Agreed.
sponsor.
Agreed.
It's going to be very rare that they're going to say
Mhm.
no. So don't be afraid to ask. Don't
So
be
when
afraid
you
to ask.
yeah, so real quick, just before we wrap this up, your first school, you walked to the principal. What did you say? Because again, a male walking into a school, hey, I want to be involved in your PTO. Do you have kids here? No. That to me is a red flag with the principal. So how did you get around that red flag?
But see, here's how I did it. Right? Is
Okay. Yeah.
because the first thing that I said to him, hey, look, I said, hey, Mr. Principal, I used to be an educator.
Okay.
I used to be a teacher, and now I'm a realtor, but I still want to be involved in helping out the school
Yeah.
community.
Okay.
Right. So that's how once again, I have access to that because if you went in there, right, they're going to be like, right.
Well, so I have to lie. I have to be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Mr.
Yeah.
Principal,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
a teacher," and then under my breath, "In another life." Right? But that's the thing though,
Yeah.
because if I went in, like, really, it's gonna be that automatic, like, "Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute."
They're going to they're just going to, smell the commission breath.
Right,
Right?
exactly.
They're just going to smell the commission breath. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that one. Where do I have access to
Mm,
that other realtors don't have access to? I have access to
okay.
teachers because I was a teacher. Right.
Okay. Okay. So
Right.
okay. So you lose. So it's not necessarily, this is not something for everybody to do unless they want to try it. But your end game was the fact that hey, 16 years in the trenches. I get
Yeah.
it. Been there, done that. I know how PTO works. I know how the financial aspect, et cetera,
Yeah.
works. Let me
Exactly.
add value to that by just
Yeah.
being present at your
Yeah.
events.
And I'm on their site committee,
Well, now
our
you are.
committee,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like
Yeah.
all
Oh,
these
yeah.
things. I'm very invested, right? And if you're gonna do this,
Hmm.
make sure you're in it,
Yeah.
right? Don't just
Yeah.
show up for one event and then peace
Agreed.
out.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get anything. You're not
No.
gonna get a deal.
No, and
You know,
that's gonna, and that's gonna prevent them from wanting to let somebody else in the future because you weren't committed to it. So yeah,
right? Right.
yeah.